Good afternoon. Welcome to an asynchronous day. So, what we're going to be investigating today, and what you're going to be working with, is both the 9-point circle and the Euler line. Now, to play around with these, you will use GeoGebra. Now, I've gone to geogebra.org/geometry. That is a simpler and more helpful format for this assignment than /classic. Often, if you just look up GeoGebra, you'll have different options. There's 3D things. Make sure you go to GeoGebra Geometry. Now, there will be instructions for you on how to create some things, but I'm going to do a quick survey of some of your tools and how you'll submit images of what you've come up with. So, if I go to Tools, the first thing that's most important is likely that this arrow allows me to move the images around. There's a point for doing new points or also labeling intersections, and then segments. So all your problems will have triangles involved. So I'm going to draw a triangle by making 3 connected segments, like so. If I want to move this around, I have to go back over to the move arrow so I could change it into different types of triangles, which will be helpful as I play around with some of these things. Now, in the process of doing some of these problems, we'll need to find different centers, and there's 2 things that I think are helpful. So first, there's the tools for actually finding them. So perhaps you're going for the circumcenter, in which case you might need the perpendicular bisectors. If I'm looking to do altitudes, for instance, if I'm looking for an orthocenter, I will use perpendicular lines. So let's do an example with the altitudes. So to draw a perpendicular line from C to line AB, I'll first click on C, and then just click on that line, AB, and it automatically drops in altitude. And likewise, let me do it once more, from B all the way to AC. And just for completion's sake, I'll go a perpendicular from A to BC. Notice they all hit in the same point. That's because these lines are concurrent. I'm going to label that as point D. In fact, I might even rename it. So if I want to rename it, I can click on my arrow key and then click on D, and then down here I have the option of changing the label. So since this is where the 3 perpendiculars, 3 altitudes meet, I'm going to just call it ortho center. Great, so now it's labeled. Occasionally it's helpful to make these altitudes disappear. Now, I don't want to delete them, but I might want to hide them. So there's a Show Hide Object button like so. And I can click on the things I want to hide and see how they sort of gray out. Then when I click onto a different tool, they'll go out of the picture. And that will be nice so that I can just see the orthocenter and where that hits. All right, great. So as you're doing this, you'll find the orthocenter. You might also find the circumcenter, the incenter, etc., using your different tools over on the left. But when it comes time to sort of submit an image of what you have, the way you'll do that is go to this little, 3-layered pancake here, the main menu, and then there's a button here called Export Image or Download As. I'm going to go ahead and export the image, and I'm going to either copy it to my clipboard, if that's what you want to do, but I'm going to download it. And so now I just got a PNG file, which if I opened up is just an image of what I had. Oops, I just scrolled on accident. But yeah, so you can export it that way, and that's what you can submit once you find these different shapes.